Hey everyone, finish watching the next episode of Beetleborgs Never Cry Werewolf. Inside a motel lobby, a young man talks on the phone. He doesn't take notice when the door opens. We hear growls as someone walks in. We only see their sneakers, which are ripped open to reveal claws. The man turns to find himself staring face to face with a werewolf. He runs away in terror as the creature throws its head back and howls. The next day, the werewolf hitches a ride on the back of a delivery truck. He dismounts in front of Zoom Comics. He sets down a suitcase just as Roland and Heather come out to pick up a delivery. He hides behind a tree but leaves behind his suitcase. Roland and Heather think someone must have forgotten the suitcase and take it inside. The werewolf follows them inside, and Nano tries to fight it off with her karate skills. The werewolf rampages around, tearing the place apart searching for his suitcase. Nano tells Aaron to call 911, but the werewolf ate the phone.
He ate the phone!
Roland and Joe spray silly string at the monster, distracting him. Drew discreetly uses his telekinesis to wrap a banner around him. The werewolf is disoriented, but then sees his suitcase and grabs it. He runs out and the kids follow. They realize it's not a magnivore, it's an actual werewolf. They go to tell Flabber. The Magnivores, meanwhile, find the werewolf and lead him to the tomb and introduce him to Vexor. While they banter about, the monster slips away. At Hillhurst, Count Fangula and Mums reveal they know the werewolf. His name is Wolfgang. He was a moocher that they couldn't get rid of, so they moved to get away from him. Wolfgang gets inside and tries to bite the statue Ghoulam. The kids and the monsters catch him when suddenly the house shakes. The Magnivores have called the jet fighters. They've come to get Wolfgang. The kids transform and go to deal with the jet fighters while the monsters of the house defend Wolfgang from Noxic Typhus and Jara. After a battle, the bad guys retreat. The monsters try to kick out Wolfgang, but then they feel sorry for him and decide to let him stay. Wolfgang is introduced and now the gang's all here, asterisk. This is a really fun episode, and probably a good look at what the show would be like without B-Fighter's superhero elements thrown in. There's no B-Fighter monsters here, no plot adaptation, just a completely original story about a werewolf coming to live in a haunted house. Wolfgang has a pretty cool design. The orange jacket really pops against his gray fur. He makes noises similar to Taz from Looney Tunes. Occasionally you can hear an actual word or two buried in there somewhere. This is one of the funniest episodes so far. The beginning looks like it's setting up a more creepy, ominous story, but then it's just a normal episode, and I love Aaron's delivery of "he ate the phone." The Magnivores get a lot of opportunity to goof around this time. At one point, Noxic dresses up in a disguise that won't possibly fool anyone. It reminds me of Adventures of Sonic, where Sonic would routinely fool the bad guys by wearing silly outfits. At the end, Mums scolds Wolfgang for trying to eat the statue, and Ghoulam waggles his finger at Wolfgang. Van and Trip don't appear this time. That's fine. There's not really a place they could fit in. Unless possibly they were taking the Magnivore's place. And thinking of that made me think, maybe this was originally written before the B-Fighter stuff was thrown into Beetleborgs, and possibly the episode had to do with Van and Trip in some kind of rivalry with Drew, Roland, and Joe over Wolfgang. It was probably rewritten quite a bit, because this plot, it makes a lot of sense that the Magnivores want Wolfgang. They regularly have monsters that they send to attack, so yeah, of course they'd want a werewolf, especially since he can't be sent back into the comics. With Van and Trip, I don't really know what exactly they would want with Wolfgang. So I'm assuming the motivations and goals were quite a bit different in the original script, if this was adapted from a script where it wasn't a B-Fighter adaptation at all originally. So this was another fun one, and hopefully there's more fun ones to come. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Rip this place up!
Rip it, baby! Oh, great, he's shedding.